Today's question is why to purify the mind by karma yoga so that we succeed in meditation. Succeed in meditation means that we awaken to the real self and we bring an end to the suffering. Welcome, Jerry and David. I was missing you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Missed you too. Hi, everyone. I don't know if my camera's working, so I'll try to get it to work.
Yeah. So, pay attention to today's lesson, why to purify the mind. First, purify the mind. Second is karma yoga. We are always doing some action. So, that action should be converted into karma yoga, action yoga. And the third point is the purification of the mind that leads to meditation. So I have been pleading and requesting. You all to apply these principles in your daily life. You start communicating through your thought, your speech, and your action. Because then only we will bring about a change and transformation in our life. So it means that you listen to it. And after listening, you reflect on it. You know how to apply that in my daily life, whether it's a personal life. Jerry, still you are working on the camera, I know ya. So this is, you see the 3 points, purification of the mind, and the master relates it to karma yoga. Without doing karma yoga, Lara has come, without doing karma yoga, we cannot purify the mind. By contemplation and reflection, we remove the wrong notions. By reflecting that I remove the wrong notion. Yeah, I got it, yes. But by doing the karma yoga, we purify the mind. That needs to be rightly understood. And we are doing karma yoga every day. You know, our personal life, professional life, social life, all the activities we are doing. So I have taken these principles from Gita, one of the best text written by the founder, you can say, the Eastern wisdom is Krishna. But again, I'm requesting you to apply that in your daily life. Our tradition says that knowledge is very well given to the seeker. I was thinking to send an email to Christina why she is not joining. But anyhow, she has returned. So last time what we did? Did you get the answer of those questions? Christina.
I missed the first part of what you said. Once I was dialing in, it takes a minute.
Okay. I was missing you.
I missed what you said.
I was missing you. I thought to send you.
Texting me? Yes, that's correct. I'm driving to somewhere, and yes, I've been getting silly answers, but all the answers I've gotten have been through you. So I'm sorry I've missed. My apologies, Grace.
No. So last time.
I'm going to be focusing on driving, but the meditation part, I'll be here.
So the last time we discussed, does the mind has any idea about permanent peace, happiness, love, and wisdom? And we answer that. If you don't find the answer, you can go to the last. If mind has any idea, then what should we do? So then we also answered the question, are peace and happiness outside or inside? So if we are 100% clear in our mind by the intellect through contemplation and reflection, majority of the thoughts that will drop down. No, I'm in a hurry. If I don't reach there, then, I'm in anxiety. Calm down. Peace and happiness are within you. Then we also discussed about the issue of hell and heaven. That is within us. It is not outside. We should be very clear about it. We should not be carried away by the wrong notions. Well, even if you think of going to the heaven, so we have to die before we go to heaven, but I'm suffering now. I have to bring an end to the suffering today in my life. So today we are covering how to purify the mind by karma yoga. That needs to be understood rightly in order to become a seeker of the highest order. Karma, actions. So think of it. Action. What exactly is our action? In the action, we have a desire, we have a doer, and we have an enjoyer. Do you see that? In any action, we have a doer inside, we have an enjoyer inside, and we have a desire. Without desire, we cannot do any action in our life. But there is a desire to meet the physical needs. We have to depend on the world outside for our physical needs. Food, shelter, clothes. I'm a professional, so I should have a monitor, internet connection. So that they are the physical needs. And we already answered that question, that when we depend on the world outside for our emotional and mental needs, when there is a dependence, that causes the problem. So once we have those emotional and mental needs, I become a doer inside as a thought. I become an enjoyer inside as a thought. Are you getting it? I'm a doer of this. I'm an enjoyer of this. So this is what is known as karma, action. Now, if you stop thinking that you are a doer and enjoyer and still you are doing the same karma, that becomes karma yoga. Did you get it? So in karma yoga, Krishna says that I should be free from the thoughts of doer and the enjoyer and desire for the fruits of an action. And we already covered that. Are you a pleasure seeker or a real self seeker? So the pleasure seeker is always engaged in doing karma. And every karma that we do as a doer and an enjoyer multiplies. It creates a ripples of thoughts in the mind, and it creates an impression, and those impressions buried as a storehouse. You wake up next day in the morning and your mind triggers those impressions. So the cycle of the desire, pleasure seeker, doer and the enjoyer continues, and that causes the three diseases of the mind. Do you remember the three diseases? If you have contemplated, attachment and detachment is the first disease of the mind. Second disease of the mind, that definitely leads to sorrow and the suffering. And the sorrow and the suffering causes the delusion in day-to-day living. Because I live with the wrong notion. Oh, you don't love me. You did not do anything. I have done a lot of things for you. These kind of thoughts continues to haunt your mind. Are you getting it? Karma to karma yoga is a way to purify the mind. Now see, take my example. Let me perform my duty. My duty as a teacher to give the knowledge in the best way possible without being a doer and the thinker inside. So my focus would be on the very karma, not as a doer and the enjoyer. Why? Because when I focus on it, peace and happiness will always be there. Krishna says, Neha bhikram nashusti pratyavayu na vidyati nahi swalpam pyasya dharmasya trayate mehetu bhayat. You have to contemplate and reflect what he says. Even a little effort in the direction of karma yoga saves us from great fears, anxiety, and insecurities. The feeling, those thoughts. So what happens? The seeker is always calm and relaxed. He has to do what he has to do. He does everything, all the activities of his daily life, but minus being the doer and the enjoyer inside. We don't have a doer when we go to the restroom. While eating, we forget about the doer. Think of it. But when you have an anxiety how to conduct a class, how to please everyone, emotional and mental dependence. How to please my honey. Add lot of questions. You see that? Sorry. Nehabhi kramanashusti pratyavayu navidyate. Little effort in this direction. You wake up in the morning, you put an agenda, then focus on the karma. It becomes the karma yoga. Don't think even that I am the doer and enjoyer, I have to please others. No. Give your 100%. It will not invite the duality and the conflict in your mind. The mind will remain pure. And once you start converting every karma into the karma yoga, what is going to happen? The mind will remain pure. Why Krishna says this? I just give you a brief idea about this. When I claim that I see you, now think of that I. Does that I means me, see you, or my eyes are seeing you? Backed by the mind. And if eyes in the mind are looking at you, it means I'm not the seer. The mind, due to wrong notion, creates a doer, seer, knower. Are you getting it? Let me repeat it again. Think of this. That I am none of these 5 sense organs. Are you clear? I am not the mind. Clear? Now this mind and the sense organs are seeing you. So it means there is no I. And the work is being done. That becomes karma yoga. So what is going to happen? It will clear all the garbage from the mind. All the garbage from the mind. That whether one is listening or not listening, you are doing your best. You are putting your focus is on the activity. Honey, I love you for the sake of love. There is no preference, there is no likes and dislikes. So what happens when the doer is gone? When the doer is gone, what happens? Mind remains free. And that mind can absorb into deeper meditation. So you have to think how to enter into that karma yoga. You wake up in the morning. I have to give a class. Okay, What is the topic? Class. Give it the best possible way. Focus on the karma. Forget that you are giver of the class. Finished. It takes a lot of contemplation. You are in a business. Focus on the work. Not on the doer. Not on the enjoyer. Because that is what the mind has been doing since our birth. For every desire it wants to enjoy. And that enjoyment, it thinks that it is outside. Am I going deeper or are you getting it? So only by thinking, you drop thinking as a doer and the enjoyer in the mind, desire will drop and dissolve in the mind. Mind will naturally focus on the action, work to be done. What work is essential must be done as a duty. That is what I covered few sessions. That what is my duty? I must do it. If I ignore that duty, then I invite heaven or hell. Duty must be done, never be left. If left, will be punished by unfavorable condition. We invite reaction, attachment, detachment, anger, and hesitation. But if you are performing your duty, you don't get the reward in the beginning, but what happens? You are carefree. The mind does not have to think of the anxiety, reaction, duality, conflict. Seeker is free. That makes you a great seeker. Nehabhikram nashoste pratyavayo navedyate. It saves you from great fears and the insecurities in our life. Why the purification of the mind is necessary? You think of this. Why the purification of the mind is necessary? Because this mind is suffering from the third disease, terminal level. What is that terminal level of the disease? Wrong notions, delusion. How can I please you? Do you think that our desire to please you, to extract the maximum out of you? So it means what my mind is thinking, that happiness is in you, peace is in you. That desire which leads to emotional and mental dependence must be dropped. Because that is attachment and detachment. That causes the sorrow and the suffering. No, I have done my best, but still you are not happy. What should I do? No, do nothing. You are crazy. Simple thing. You're crazy. So when I'm doing my work as a duty, then it is my responsibility. Then I focus on the work. You do it this week, and you will find that your mind enjoys the freedom inside. I'm linking the deeper principles in few more sessions, and then we will go directly to study one of the Upanishads. Think of this. My friends, think of this. Listen to it. First thing I said, karma to karma yoga. When all the karma are converted into karma yoga, there is no doer as a thought. There is no enjoyer as a thought. Did you understand that? Still, we are doing the same thing. I'm not asking you that, no, you stop doing this and do this. There are no do's and don'ts now. What is your duty as a seeker? Think of this. What is my duty as a teacher? So all the garbage in the mind is collected by the three diseases. Wrong notion in the mind claims that I am the doer and the enjoyer. Wrong notion, delusion claims that I am the doer and the enjoyer. Tell me from where I am the doer and the enjoyer. Sense organs, I am not the sense organs, I am not the mind, I am not the intellect. So the mind creates a wrong notion, collecting all of them, and claims that I am the doer. Are you thinking? Are you understanding? It is only happening in thought process. It is only happening in the thought process. So once you remove that, or you start thinking, no, I am not the doer. I am not the doer. Let me put my focus on this work that I am doing. Finished. Then the mind will say, it will not give you happiness. Thank you very much. You recognize the emotional dependence on the things. For basic needs, physical needs, we have to depend on the world. But for emotional and mental needs, we have not to depend on the world. The moment you depend on it, it is conditional. It is known as attachment. And this attachment will give rise to the second problem. It will definitely cause you sorrow and suffering. Are you getting it? Are you understanding? So the entire focus of the Krishna, I'm summarizing, in the journey of self-discovery is that focus on the karma, so that it should become karma yoga. You are united with the karma, not with the doer and the enjoyer plus the desire that is causing the problems in our life. Lara has a problem hearing. Now it's okay. Everyone is listening to me. Are you all listening to me? No. No. Let me see what happened. Hello. 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 Are you listening? Hello? Hello? Let me... Are you listening?
Yes, that works.
That works?
I hear you.
Okay, good. So, think of the three things. Purification of the mind. What is that purification? That this mind should not contain anger, anxiety, duality, conflict, expectation. These are the impurities of the mind. Expectation. How the expectations comes? Because I am the doer. I want to enjoy meeting that expectation. Now, where is the doer? So, doer is always lives in the mind. How it lives in the mind? As a thinker. So, by one thought of a doer, you get rid of this doer. That I am not the doer. Let me perform this activity, this work. And that is what Krishna says. Nehabhikramana shosti pratyavayo navidyate svalapam pyastya trayate mehato bhaya. It saves us from great fears and the insecurities that is present in the mind. So three words again, remember: purification of the mind, karma to karma yoga. So when the karma converts into karma yoga, then I have to think of what is my duty towards family, towards my profession, towards the society, towards the notion. So I convert all my actions in my daily life as duty. Duty must be done with a focus on the activity. Finished. And you will find that within a week, you will find this mind calms down. Mind says, oh, this is what I have to do. I'm doing it. Finished. So then your mind is not thinking, oh, I have to please. I have to please. So what is that pleasing expectation? It is emotional dependence. That emotional dependence causes many desires for seeking happiness outside. So that is totally withdrawn and the mind is free now. And the free mind always succeeds in meditation. Are you thinking? Are you getting it? I am invoking a couple of deeper principles so that you should know that how deeper this wisdom is, but it's not a bit difficult. I have given many examples. You're going to the restroom, there is no doer and enjoyer. The food is on the table. How you become the doer and how you do not become the doer, think of it. How you become the eater. Eater is a doer. So the food is on the table and the mind says, I hate this food. I like this food. Think of this. Think. So if you have a food that you like, very good, take it. But if the food is on the table, will you ask your mind, the food is to survive, let me eat it. Finished. I could see Ashok eyes in another camera. Do you see that? Simple things needs to be done. In day-to-day life, in our relationship, in our personal life, in our professional life. So what happens? One day if you practice this, apply this in your life internally, your mind remains totally casual, carefree, comfortable, free. That is what I always give in the initial steps of every meditation. And if you have any doubt, ask me, send the questions by email, or think of it, apply this. Let us start our practice now. First thing, steady body. I have been saying it. Body is steady. Good. Mind is facing within. Eyes are closed. And you check. Mind is inward moving or outward moving. You can check it's your mind. Become aware. My friends, become aware. Now let me give a clue. If the mind is outward moving, means what? For physical needs, mind has nothing not to move outward. It moves only because of emotional and mental dependence. That causes the desire and the three diseases. Now you see, you understand that. Once body is steady, it is, my eyes are closed gently, and knee and the mind is inward facing. Now ask yourself, who can check the mind is facing inward? It is your intellect. We should keep our intellect alive. The intellect knows, understand, it knows that the body is steady, or it is fidgeting or shaking. When it is shaking, moving, because of the outward moving tendency. Exceptions are there with the Terry. And just casually look at the breath, and the mind goes on to the breath. You enjoy the flow of the breath moving in and out, and it continues, remain on the breath. I'm not saying anything that you need to change. Then again, work on this. The mind is facing within. What it means. Reflect on that. It means that the world outside has variety of objects, millions of people, millions of things, millions of activities, millions of thoughts. And when the mind is facing within, then what it has to see? Just become aware. I'm not saying what do you see. It is aware of the space or emptiness or blankness because it is looking inside. Don't try to create imagination and visualization. No, I'm seeing a great God, etc. No, we are not there. I'm going towards a higher journey of seeking and searching. Seeking, intellect is alive, reflecting, and searching is what we see the practice. I'll clear it later in the following sessions. And now, in that state, being comfortable and carefree and casual becomes a joy for you. Check that. Comfortable at the physical level, at the body level. Body is at ease. You're feeling sensation, comfort and steadiness. There is another way. Just become aware of the world just outside you, just outside the skin of the body. It is the space. The space is the most important factor to recognize anything in the world outside. To move the mind on the entire body and all the joints, one after the other. Experience sensation, comfort, and steadiness. And the space just outside the skin of your body. Now, you may ask why we do it. The space is the container of everything, including this body. And then you become carefree. Carefree, you have understood almost in more than 50 different ways. Thoughts, feelings, images appear, disappear. It is okay, let it come, let it go. We witness the content of the mind. What is witness? Witness means the knower inside, seer inside. What it means, you are driving your car on the highways and you witness other cars, right, left lanes, they are also moving. You are not at all concerned about them. You are aware of them. You are aware of every thought that passes to the mind. But you know you are separate from them. So you see that the mind, which is beset with the three diseases, in the terms of the knowledge, attachment, detachment, sorrow, suffering, and the wrong notion, delusion, we say ignorance, we use different words. So we show the mind that this is what the reality is. And that is why we still continue with the mantra. Differentiation, how I am different from you all by gender, by shape and the size, by the color, by the age, by the DNA. Eastern wisdom says, forget about that. Find the common element. May there be peace for all. The mind must accept this. I use the word must. Why? Because it is beset with the wrong notions. That is why it is not accepting, and that is why we are continuing. Sarvesham Puranam Bhavatu. May there be completeness in all. Do you remember completeness? Let the intellect reflect on the completeness. If I am complete in myself, emotionally and mentally, will there be any expectation? Expectation reduces the joy, causes the attachment. that attitude of the mind must go. This is what the mantra says. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. May there be happiness or auspiciousness for all. So auspiciousness, what it means, the next moment, the next hour, the next day, the next week, the next year should be right and good. When it happens, when the mind is pure. Why it does not happen? Because the mind is impure. It has doubt, it has fear, it has insecurities. Why? Because I'm the doer and the enjoyer. See that? See the sequence. I will connect these dots in a few sessions, following session. So now this mind should continue to have an inward moving tendency and it should go within. So we have done a simple step before. We will continue. Look inside the forehead. Where you see the space or emptiness or blankness, pick a point in that space and start hammering Soham Soham mentally. So you see the hammering, quick, fast, and loud in your mind. One thing. Maintaining your awareness at a point inside the forehead is the second. Start. Soham, 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 Soham. And the third point. If any thought comes, it pertains to the world outside. You superimpose Soham. It only demands your intellect, reflection, awareness, and the practice. Soham, 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 Soham. Soham, 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 Soham. Continue. Soham, 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 Soham. Soham, 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 Soham. Soham, 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 Soham. Continue. Soham, 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 Soham. Now we will focus inside, natural focus. Look inside the heart, become aware of the center of the chest, then look inside the skin of the chest, then become aware of the space or darkness, then pick a point in the space and start. Soham, 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 Soham. Quick, fast, and loud Just continue hammering. Quick, fast, and loud. You're aware that you don't allow any thought between the two. So hum means what? You're moving the mind within. Now, look inside the belly button. Hammering. Quick, fast, and loud. So hum, 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 so hum. So hum, 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 so hum. So hum, 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 so hum. Quick, fast, loud, no thought. And drop this. Let us follow any one tantra step. Look inside the heart. Space is there. Ask the mind to visualize a triangle, an equilateral triangle facing upward, pointing upward. So that represents the Shiva, the upward moving consciousness. Now move the mind on the triangle, clockwise direction. And every time you move the mind on one side, just drop Soham. Then the base side, Soham. The left side, Soham. Casually, in a freedom that you are aware of a triangle. And everything is done by the intellect. It is pushing the mind to drop Soham on each side of a triangle. Soham means I am that. What is that? I'm real self. What is real self? Pure consciousness. It is what we say the Sat, Chit, Ananda. I'm balancing that reflection should also continue and the practice should also continue together. Now, doing with the anti-clockwise movement, mind moves casually, intellect is aware, attentive, dropping Soham on all the three sides, one after the other, with understanding I am that. Soham simply means I am that. What is that? Real self. Soham, 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 Soham. And now we can check the mind if it has gone deeper within. Keep looking at the center of a triangle and dropping Soham. Center of a triangle inside the heart. You become aware. You drop Soham. Then you wait. awareness of that Soham. Again, you are aware that you are looking at the center of a triangle inside the heart. Point is there, you drop Soham. You may feel as if you are going through a deep tunnel. That's how the mind projects. Beautiful. I appreciate it. Continue the journey, Soham. Body is perfectly steady. We may have a variety of sensation. We recognize and accept them. We are looking inside the heart. And there is a reference of a triangle, as if we are looking at the center of a triangle. And then Soham. We are dropping Soham. Soham, with understanding I'm that. I'm not this. Doer and the enjoyer, I'm that. So again, you see the discernment must work here. I'm not this. What is this? The way I have been living my life is doer, enjoyer, seeker. I'm that, Soham. That is why this mantra, Soham. Doing nothing, remain as you are. Why we enter into the state of doing nothing? Because real self is within us. So let the revelation take place. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside. Know your experiences. Bring the hands down. How are you, Lara?
I had an interesting experience. I only heard about a third of what you said in the meditation. And so what was kind of came up for me, I had gotten into the Sarve Sham like right at the beginning, and I just was kind of doing it. And then all of a sudden you'd peek in for a little bit and you'd be saying it. And then I was just kind of sitting there, and I actually watched myself get really anxious because I couldn't hear you. And didn't know what I was supposed to be doing. But I've been working a lot with clients this week is that sometimes the body takes a longer time to catch up to the mind. The mind might understand it, but the body hasn't gotten there yet. So I started to relate that to my experience. And then So hum is actually an old mantra that I used to use a lot. I actually have it written inside my glasses. And so, that is very comforting for me. And so I heard you said that we started to get into that, and then missed a bunch of part of that, but was kind of just stuck with it. Heard where we got into the triangle, the Shiva triangle. And so was able to follow that piece. And just really had this deep recognition is that I think when I'm not hearing things, I think that's really old for me and not understanding, and how that creates confusion and like some anxiety for me as well.
Yeah. I could see that.
That was interesting.
I checked my internet connection, but it was okay.
It might be on my end too. I didn't know if it was with my headphones or.
Yeah.
Where Eric and I are both on Zoom stuff, so it might just be at our house too.
But it was a good experience. One thing we should understand.
It was a good experience.
Did you hear so hum? I am that. So why I say I am that? I am not this. So what I am not this? I'm not the doer and enjoyer. I'm not the problem. I'm not the suffering. I am that. That is the message it conveys. How are you, Jerry?
We can't hear you again. I can't hear you again.
Oh, you don't hear me? I see that everything
now I hear you okay, but I did it.
Your problem at your end. How are you, Jerry?
Sir, I'm good. I had a little bit of audio in and out as well. But the meditation, I had a sense of timelessness.
Good.
And also a sense of no borders, I guess, or...
that is good.
Yeah, I guess the borders went away a bit, especially with the beginning with the skin and the space on the outside of the skin. I was already feeling like that wasn't there. And then when you did that, I even more so felt like the space was the same on the inside and the outside.
Beautiful. And
then when you did the Shiva triangle, that really felt like a tunnel. I was feeling the tunnel, and then you mentioned the tunnel, and that I was feeling just this consciousness with the tunnel.
Beautiful. That is what it should happen. What happens in oldest text of meditation in the Rig Veda, it says the mind must merge into the real self. So when we pass through the tunnel, we experience that merging, and what is left is the pure consciousness. Beautiful. How are you, Stephen?
That was great. Outside of the fact that I too having problems, your microphone is going in and out. But that didn't matter to me during this meditation. But before I get to my experience, I have noticed in the last several weeks that my awareness level has increased, which has allowed me to understand the three diseases of the mind. So it's very, it's simple in concept, hard in actually living it every day. So, I'm not saying that I'm there, but in any case, so during this meditation, I lost you right as you were getting ready to start the Salvation. And so I did it on my own. And then we happened to be right up to the part where then I heard you again during the third verse. But during that part, when I started doing it on my own, I had noticed an enormous amount of white light that wasn't like light, but more so as moving like clouds through the sky. And hearing you in the back of my head was like, okay, don't attach to that, detach from it, notice it, move on. And at that point, I felt such joy and happiness within my heart. Beautiful. That it was overwhelming at that point. And then I lost you through almost the rest of the piece. When we started to so hum in the forehead, I actually felt the hammering in my forehead.
Are you listening?
Then I lost you till we got back to the Shiva triangle. And to me, I had noticed that it was difficult to visualize the Shiva triangle. And then I realized through my awareness that I was actually had other things going on, thinking about my meditation and thinking about the fact that I couldn't hear you. So I as soon as I realized that, the triangle became so visible to me.
Yeah.
And then I followed the outside of the triangle. And then when we started that point inside the triangle, I actually, similar to like Jeree talked about the tunnel and you talked about it, I was seeing myself walking in and out of the middle of the triangle as if I was walking in so and walking out as hum. And I just felt that was just incredible, and the joy and happiness that was with me during that. So sorry to speak so long, but.
No, it's such a vivid experience that you are narrating, and that helps. It only happens when we are doing contemplation and reflection. On a lighter note, one day you have to lose me. Whether you lost me in a session, one day you have to lose me so that you can find that real self. I'm 100% clear. How are you, Barbara?
I too had an issue with the audio, and I was in the meditation already, and I felt a little bit anxious also. But then I came right back into it, and I wasn't aware of you coming in and out of sound. And when we were doing the triangle, I felt like pressure and tingling in my head.
Yeah, that's good.
Yes, and it was very peaceful and beautiful, and I also experienced a sense of joy.
I appreciate you all because in spite of the audio problem, you continued the journey. That is the most important factor to be a seeker. Beautiful. How are you, Vaibhav? Ashok, you are there or your audio problem? And then Terry, you can also open it. Yes, Vaibhav.
Yes, sir. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. The audio problem was there with me as well. think that earlier when this used to happen, I also became very anxious during that time when I'm not able to hear you. But now I know the moment I get anxious, I know that this is happening just in mind, not actually. So at that same moment, it became me calm that it's just happening in the mind. It's nothing there. So you just keep calm, remain.
Yeah, that's good. That's wonderful. That's keep going. That's attitude of being a seeker. How are you, Terry? Ashok.
I also had the audio come and go.
Yeah, I could see that.
I had a lot of I what you would call successful practice. I had about 30%.
Okay.
But I was just using it was helpful to me, the space being the same outside and inside.
That's a deeper state.
It was helpful to me thinking about just do your duty, don't think about it, if you should or if you want to or whatever. And then I was doing the Soham, and when the audio dropped out, it was actually easier for me to hear my own mental voice, because your voice is very strong and it overrides my ability to hear my mental voice. I think that's
Yeah.
my brain. But I'm using the Soham to cancel out anything that is not helpful, or any thought or any feeling or any outward.
That is beautiful. We should understand this week, the moment the word or the mantra comes Soham, literally it means I am that. So what is that? That is the real self. So it also means I'm not this. What is I'm not this? I'm not my craziness. I don't have the 3 illnesses of the mind. I'm not the doer and the enjoyer. So live into that edge from moment to moment and see then what happens. The moment any anxiety comes, Soham, I'm that, not this. Internally. Internalize that. So when the moment you internalize, what will happen, the moment any anxiety comes, it drops. Why? Soham. Anxiety, Soham. Stress, Soham. Fear, Soham. It means I'm not the fear. How are you, Ashok?
Good, sir. And actually, I am not at the home, but I did meditation.
Yeah. That's really good.
It is peaceful and progressive.
Beautiful. One thing I must say to you all, I normally check my internet connection every day. And the moment I see that its speed is less, I restart. I'm sorry I did not do it today. But even I checked it, the speed was around 400 megabyte per second. I said it will go away. But what happens? I have that coax, fiber, optical fiber connection. So it has 800 megabyte per second of connection, which was not there. Perhaps that may be the reason. So I'm sorry, we will meet again on Thursday. It is my duty to check. It is my duty to check. I did not do it.
Thank you, sir. Namaste.
Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you, sir.